Welcome to the APTA's fourth Grand Prix event of the season, the Boston Open, presented by the Weston Golf Club, Worcester Air, Narragansett Beer, Reflect Lighting, and APTA national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Mark Fischel, bringing you this quarterfinal men's match between the number 2 seeds, Drew Broderick and Jared Palmer, and the number 7 seeds, Marco Grangerio and George Wilkinson.
Thanks, Lauren. So there are the team bios. Marco Grangerio is Director of Rackets at the Knickerbocker Country Club. George Wilkinson is the Director of Racket Sports at the Mersing Island Club. And they had a terrific run together, I guess, from 2014 to 2016. Made semis and nationals in Connecticut before losing to Durant Parsons. And they're going to be facing our 3-time national champions, Drew Broderick and Jared Palmer. Drew is at Canoe Brook.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
Jared
quarterfinal round match is best.
Let's let the umpire introduce them.
With tiebreak. Warming up to my left in the ad court from Stamford, Connecticut, Marco Grangerio. And his partner in the deuce court from White Plains, Connecticut, George Wilkinson. To my right, in the ad court from Summit, New Jersey, Drew Broderick. And his partner in the deuce court from Menlo Park, California, Jared Palmer.
White Plains, Connecticut being really south in Connecticut, Lauren.
That New York part of Connecticut.
So as I was saying earlier, Grangerio Wilkinson had a great run together, culminated with making the semis and playing 3 sets against Durant Parsons at the Country Club at Darien in the 16 Nationals. Went their separate ways, and they were less than they'd been together. Really struggled. Wilkinson played with Max Lipavere. They made the quarters of Nationals in Philly, but Grangerio didn't even play Nationals that year, and has played with a variety of people, made the finals of Charities one year, but just have not found the success separately that they had together. So now they're back. They've made the semis at
I'm not making line calls,
the
right? You make your
Philly
own line
Grand Prix.
calls. If you have a question, you can look up to me. I'll confirm it.
And it'll be interesting to see. They've played some tough matches with Broderick Palmer, never beaten them. But as a team, they've had a lot of belief in the past. I know George Wilkinson's been working hard physically. When we saw him in Philadelphia, he hadn't been working quite so hard physically. So we'll see what he's got today, because this team tends to go as George goes. George's forehand is the weapon. Marco's more the support guy. And across the net, if you're going to beat Broderick Palmer, you better play awfully well. I mean, to me, they're the favorites to win Nationals, with Hughes and Powers struggling these days. And they're just rock solid.
Yeah, it's nice to see Grangerio and Wilkinson back out there together. They were really playing at the very highest level of the game, and then they split up, and like you said, it's not been smooth sailing for them. So George wearing one of his very subdued outfits.
George is very good at picking out ugly clothing. I would say best on tour.
I mean, this is a good one even for him.
Okay, Jared Palmer to serve to George Wilkinson.
Missed the first serve.
Love 15.
And Grangerio's going to use his speed around the court. He's going to blitz. He's going to try and set up the Wilkinson forehand.
All.
Grangerio hit a lot of soft shots, then all of a sudden just an explosive shot.
I'm always amazed now, year after year, with Jared living in California, how he's still able to maintain this unbelievable level and not look at all rusty when he comes out.
Yeah, I think playing on the Pro Flight Paddle Tours really helped him. He's gotten a lot more reps, and that's helped his game. A couple of misses from Grangerio you don't expect to see. And with Grangerio, there's always that fine line between being brazen and being reckless. And that was the wrong side of the line. The question for Grangerio Wilkinson is, where's the offense going to come from?
I was just going to ask you that. I mean, obviously George has to hit his drives well, but how are they going to make an impression?
They're Broderick Palmer, the best volleying team in the country. And I think it's got to be a combination of the Wilkinson forehand and the Grangerio blitzing. There's that great Grangerio backhand off the wires. Loves driving the ball that way. I look for Broderick Palmer to switch back pretty quickly here. Jared is not real comfortable on the backhand side.
Yeah, you really never see him there.
Great close from Grangerio. Really think they need a good start.
Advantage, Palmer.
Broderick Palmer puts so much pressure on you with their overheads, especially Broderick, so much spin on the ball. Just punish any mistake. Lauren, is there any truth to the rumor that Jerry Vion helped George pick that outfit out?
No, I can say for sure there is not.
The Zorro shot that I think George learned from Drew Broderick. It was a great example of Broderick Palmer bailing when they were in trouble. Oh, what a volley from Grangerio. You see Broderick switching, getting Palmer out of that backhand court. I don't know about you, Lauren, but I hope the fire marshal doesn't show up, because I think we've broken several fire codes here.
There's really no way, if there's a fire, anyone's getting out of here alive. There's 1 million people here. It's amazing to see so many people out here.
So I guess Grangerio called himself for hitting the net
They lead the first set,
on that shot.
But I thought that was a good game from Grangerio and Wilkinson. They looked dialed in.
Well, they're going to have to be dialed in and then some if they're going to compete tonight. Do you have a pair of leggings like that, Laura?
I don't. I think when my daughters went to sleepaway camp and they had to bring like crazy things to wear, they had ones like that.
Like ugly leggings party?
Yeah, like they would have like crazy leggings night or whatever.
And nobody would ever really wear.
Right.
Okay, Wilkinson to serve.
Mark, what do you think George and Marco have to do when they're at the net?
Make about 40 good decisions and be real patient. Because there will be very few gifts like that last one from Jared Palmer. And that's the beauty of Broderick Palmer. They give you nothing.
Let cords would be good.
Let cords are good. I also think they're going to bait Drew Broderick on his forehand, as a lot of the top teams do. And Grangerio Wilkinson are an interesting team at the net. Grangerio's just got great hands. Wilkinson less so, but he's a great positional volleyer. Kind of turned himself into an excellent net player. And there's what I mean, that soft ball to the Broderick forehand. The one you want to avoid is that down-up overhead against the side wire.
30-15.
That's a little bit of the impatience that you can't afford to show against Broderick Palmer. And there's that Broderick backhand. He just hits it right on a dime. Broderick really revolutionized the way lefties play the game. And before Drew, lefties didn't play the backhand court. You had that hole in the middle and nobody wanted to play that way, but his backhand is so good. He's changed the way the game is played.
I think that's actually true in general. I think most people used to think the backhand was a safe spot in both the men's and the women's game, and now that's just very often not the case.
And that's the danger overhead you just saw there from Grangerio. Because if he's successful with it, Broderick will track it down. If he's not successful with it, you'll see Broderick spiking it. And these are the type of points that Grangerio Wilkinson are going to have to play to be successful. Part of Broderick's brilliance is his discipline. You see people swinging at 50-50 balls, 60-40 balls. Drew's waiting for the 80-20 ball, 90-10 ball. Great lob from Palmer, catches the line and the seam. Early on, you're seeing the strategy from Grangerio Wilkinson, which is going to be very patient play, not trying to force the action.
But is that going to be enough?
Well, primary hurdle is, can they compete? And clearly, that's what they're going to have to do to compete. Such a smart play by Drew Broderick. He misses that ball, but in a dangerous position, he got out of the way, and Grangerio hit a really good controlled forehand. That's a great play from Grangerio. And that's what I talked about, that fine line between reckless and brazen.
All first set.
I think that was a big game, Mark.
I agree, Lauren.
That was a warm-up. Yeah.
The umpire informing George Wilkinson that that was a warm-up serve, which means you shouldn't drive it back. The things you have to inform George Wilkinson of. And that forehand that Wilkinson lobs, a good example of the patience they're displaying. And I think it's a ball he would have driven in all his other matches today. And with Broderick Palmer on the net, there's just no point in driving the ball. And that's the type of shot they have to stay away from. got word from Dave Broderick that he taught Drew the backhand.
So interesting to watch the contrast in Palmer's flat overheads and the tons of spin that Broderick puts on his.
Isn't that what makes them so successful, the contrast?
Yeah.
And then Wilkinson gets beat on the blitz.
Love.
That's a great combination. It's always
30,
amazing to
15.
me how well Broderick Palmer volley, because from a volleying perspective, the lefty-righty combination is a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, they always seem to be in the right place
40-15.
with their backhand volleys. Well, Palmer hits a lot of forehand volleys.
Palmer does, Broderick
Yeah.
does not.
No, he does not at all.
He is, in my opinion, the most disciplined, best volleyer on tour. Great pickup from Grangerio there off the snowboard.
Game, Broderick Palmer, they lead the first set 2-1.
Well, you see, Grangerio and Wilkinson are playing well, but they're going to have to.
Viking Athletics is the premier brand and undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It's the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of course, of the APTA Grand Prix Tour. What do you see so far, Lauren?
Well, I started to say I think Grangerio and Wilkinson are playing well. They're showing patience. They're hitting the ball well. They're not doing silly things, but they're going to have to just keep it up and play the match of their lives. It looks to me like, because Broderick and Palmer just look solid.
And here's the weakest chink in the Grangerio game. His serve tends to come and go. Yeah, that's an overhead you just can't hit.
Oh.
That is absolutely Grangerio's ball. I'm not sure what Wilkinson is doing there. When you play against Broderick, he just baits you into hitting that down-up overhead to his side wire. It may look like it's open, but it's never open.
And suddenly it's an overhead for Broderick from the back. It's amazing.
Great pickup from
There it is
Palmer.
again.
Just have to have the discipline not to hit the ball there. We've seen some loose play this game from
40.
Grangerio Wilkinson. And these are the blurts you can't afford to have against Broderick Palmer. So a fault in the first point, and then the second point, a mix-up on who was hitting the overhead, and then a down-up overhead to Drew.
15-40.
High formation.
Game, Broderick Palmer, they lead the first set 3-1.
Broderick Palmer are not a team you're going to beat from the backcourt. You've got to have the net against them.
Yeah, there's no way to hit through them. Just
a great scene here at the Western Golf Club. Drew Sawyer, Genius Chitzwakai have done such a special job. The tournament's just gotten better and better each year. Running with what Johan Durant started. That's a great look from Grangerio there.
Love 15.
All short lobs, Lauren. They've got to get them out of the service box, like that one.
Yeah.
It's a big forehand from Wilkinson.
And it
set up
enabled
with the
them to
lob.
get the net.
That's a great ball from Palmer.
15 all.
I think Wilkinson's got to do more with his return to serve against Palmer. Yeah, another missed forehand.
Missed a couple
30,
forehands this
15.
game.
They're going to go as far as his forehand's going to take him.
Yeah, he's got to. I mean, he's got to keep hitting them.
In the next court, Kayla McNerney playing Anderson Bostrom. We'll get you some scores of that match as the evening goes on. We also have a very special guest coming to join us in the booth.
Very special.
At least that's what Carrie Rebuse told me. Great blitz from Grangerio, and Palmer just great hands. Just can't afford to
40,
engage him in
15.
those hand-to-hand balance. Just always come out second best. Point for 4-1. Great ball from Grangerio.
40,
There,
30.
catches the lead court.
Game, Broderick
Little too
Palmer, they lead
aggressive.
the first set, 4 games to
Okay,
1.
so Lauren, we're going to welcome into the booth one of my favorite people, former partner and currently the chair of the APTA Men's Players Committee, Michael Montalbano. Monty, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So what do you see out there so far, Monty? Because you know a lot about patient play and how not to do it.
Well, I know Marco's a very patient guy, so I think, you know, they're a team that could definitely stay with Drew and Jared in terms of being patient. And, you know, they're waiting for their chances and they're converting on a lot of them, so.
What do you think they need to do to be successful, Monty?
I think they just, again, they have to wait for the right ball, and you know, Marco's very crafty, so he's been, you know, hitting some good shots down the line, and you know, they just need to keep the ball in play.
There's that big Palmer forehand. That shot is such a weapon.
It's huge, very flat. Nice lob.
Brilliant shot from Broderick.
Well,
Nice quick move.
Great blitz from Grangerio. That's where most of their
15
offense has come
all.
from so far.
Jared had a huge return. Now they play Australian. And it worked.
Amazing volley from Grangerio.
30-15.
I like what Jared did there. He hit basically the exact same return, and they had to prove that their Australian would work against it, and they did.
There's
A little more confusion.
That was a little confusing, too. That's what they get. Oh!
You okay, Monty?
He almost had it.
30 all.
He almost had it or hit George.
I feel like Marco is one of the best at getting that low dig. Drew is maybe a little better, but
This is a big game for them to stay in the set. In the I formation.
you can see Drew's trying to find that confusing spot again.
Well, that is a dangerous overhead from Wilkinson.
There they go again, tempting Drew in those side wires.
Great shot there from Grangerio. Brings them to game point.
40-30.
Monty, did you learn all your paddle from your mom?
What'd you say?
Did you learn your paddle from your mom?
Of course, yeah. She
Taught you her
me
grips?
when I was young. We've played in a bunch of tournaments together. She's really taught me how to stay tough and
Focus.
focus, yes.
Oh, what a get.
You know, she's put me on a new task of recruiting a partner for her for the 60s Nationals.
Shoot.
She's a fresh young recruit, and I've asked a few people. They haven't said yes yet, but we're going to find someone good. 60s mixed. 60s mixed.
Gotta be
is
clear on that.
But I'm sure she's looking for someone else for women's 60s too.
Back to deuce. It's amazing. Just slightly out of position. Broderick Palmer will find the hole.
Yes. And it seems so safe too.
That was
Advantage.
Backing up, hit that
Broderick.
forehand.
Now, without much commitment. Point for 5-1. Great hands from Broderick. Just too many misses right now
Hey,
from
Broderick
Grangerio
Palmer, they
Wilkinson.
lead the first set 5-1.
It's deflating, right? I mean, you play a couple games, you play well, you stay close, and you miss one or two balls, and suddenly you're way in a hole.
Yeah, especially with their great gets. It's just very deflating.
They both
15
serve so
up.
well, they just don't give you anything. One of the things we saw at last year's Nationals was that lefty spin bothering Jared Palmer from John Hughes. That was one of the,
15 all.
maybe his Achilles heel as a player last year.
That's why he plays with a lefty. It's one less lefty spin he has to return.
see how few points Broderick Palmer are losing on return to serve. Every other team in the country struggles with return to serve, but not Broderick Palmer.
And Palmer's a quick study. I bet he's figured out the lefty spin.
Well, they haven't played yet this year. This weekend's a possibility.
30-15.
Monty, you wouldn't happen to know what the betting line is if Broderick Palmer plays Hughes Powers. I know you're not very knowledgeable about that sort of thing, but if you had an idea, what would your guess be?
You know, even though Hughes Powers are the number 1 seed, I think Drew and Jared would definitely be a slight favorite right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think Drew and Jared are the favorites to win nationals right now. But Grangerio Wilkinson kind of hemorrhaging errors. Double set point.
But I also remember the last Philly tournament we were talking about
Game in first set, Broderick
who's
Palmer,
favored, and
game
we
in the
said it
first,
had to be Drew
6-1.
Jared. So
We will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network presented by eNet Live.
Only 1 in 3 children is physically active every day.
But now, I'm calling the plays.
I'm calling the plays.
I'm calling the plays.
Because every kid
Deserves to know what it feels like.
to do this. To do this. To do this. So they can be happy and healthy, go to college, be a coach.
Ask yourself, are you part of the solution?
Because I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
Why? Because kids who play do better.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're in the second set of this quarterfinal match between Broderick Palmer and Grangerio Wilkinson. Broderick Palmer won the first set, and in the other quarterfinal on the next court, McNerney and Kaler are up 4-2 against Anderson and Bostrom.
Love 15.
So we still have Michael Montalbano, chair of the APTA Umpires Committee too, Monty? You still chair of that committee, as
Yes.
well as the Men's Players Committee?
I am chair of the umpires committee. However,
15
Marshall
all.
Chapin, who did the last match for you guys, I believe he's taking it over at the end of this year, and he's been absolutely amazing helping out at Boston and getting the umpires ready.
Well, it's a big step down, but hopefully he'll be able to do the job.
I don't think so. He's great.
So, Monty, if you were out there coaching Grangerio Wilkinson, what
15-30.
advice would you give them?
I think they just need to try and get the points going a little longer. I mean, they're getting beat a lot with, well, that was a good point, but
30
they're getting
all.
beat a lot by getting out of position, and Drew and Jared are taking over. They got to play a little more conventional, I think.
And by conventional, what are you referring to?
I just think, don't really go for too many overheads, communicate, and maybe go down the middle a lot. They seem to be really going at Drew's corner the first set, and it didn't really work too well.
Why do you think they were doing that?
They might be scared of Jared's amazing forehand, but I think, Drew's not going to miss, so
40-30.
you got to really grind it out.
Game point, Grangerio Wilkinson. These are such critical points.
It's amazing. Drew and Jared, when they're down a game point or a set point, it seems like they go for more. I remember when they were down the Marek.
Trzynski
In
Gambino.
Nationals.
Yeah. Jared hit these ridiculous drives like from his shoes.
They're down match point in the quarterfinals in Philadelphia, 2017. And
Nationals,
their third
right?
title. Yep. And there Grangerio gets beat. You can see Broderick just read him like a book there.
I think, in the men's game now, those soft drives are getting drop shotted all the time. You can see it a lot with Juan. Johan was doing it a little bit. Got to really be going for your drives if you're going to hit it. What a
Great
lob.
lob from Palmer. Monty, what's the over-under on number of games Grangerio Wilkinson are going to win today?
Advantage,
I mean, not that you'd know that sort of thing again, but if you did.
I think they're gonna give them a battle this set.
So what's your number?
I'd say their over/under is 6.5 games.
I'll take the under.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know how much you can see some on the screen of the people here, but the hut that we're in is filled. You can't take a step, and there's a patio next to us with hundreds and hundreds of people that you can't see, and then you can see all the people behind and to the side of the court. It's an unbelievable atmosphere here.
What I love watching about Jared is when he gets a short lob, I mean, most people think he has the best hands in the game. He never goes for that cut drop shot. He just plays it solid. He hits it deep. I mean, that drop shot's a huge part of the game now, but he doesn't think it's necessary to win any points.
He doesn't go for flashy shots.
Yeah.
The Grangerio Wilkinson look like they're in major trouble right now.
George has missed some bad shots.
Well, once you start pressing against this team, you're sunk.
See, there's the flash, and it didn't work. Never going to see that from Jared.
Grangerio's so good in transition. And there's Wilkinson. Gets away with that overhead, but that's not how you win points.
30.
Boy, did he get right
That
up
shot
on
by
top of the
Drew
net.
has so much spin on it. There's no way you could control the shot you're hitting back. That had to be lucky.
30 all.
And that's not Grangerio's game, returning serve with the forehand. Again, a lot of short lobs, not putting any pressure on Broderick Palmer.
I want to see George hit that backhand a little harder.
There's a good lob from Grangerio. Well, there you got it, Monty. Oh, what a dig
What
from
a get.
Grangerio. Great trailer from Grangerio. Oh, he's in trouble. Great point.
Great point.
40-30.
Problem is, they played a great point. They hit a whole bunch of good shots, and they finished second.
Yeah. That is a problem.
What a pickup from
Right, I mean-
Broderick. And there's Grangerio pushing it too hard, and it's 8-1, Monty.
2 games to love.
See, that was
Broderick Palmer won the first
decent
set,
lob.
6-1.
Jared's backing up on it, and then Marco's crushing his forehand there. Like, you know Jared's not going to be up at net. There's no reason to crush that shot.
You want to change your 6.5 call or not?
Did you say, yeah? No, they're going to pull it together here. This looks like a very educational conference they're having.
You're doubling down?
Yeah, I'm doubling down.
The love 2.
Kaylor McNerney won the first set 6-3 against Anderson and Bostrom.
Oh, Wilkinson just very twitchy there.
Love 15.
And an absolute piece of cake shot and missed it by a foot.
Drew and Jared know they're just going to mess up eventually. They're not putting too much pressure on them.
Which was worse, you think, the fault or hitting the ball over the fence after the fault?
Hopefully he wasn't trying a drop shot there. That's all he has to do. Down the middle.
There's a rare mental error from Broderick. Monty, you want to take us through the signals that Wilkinson's giving Grangerio?
Typically, teams give 2 signals. One is where you want your partner to serve, and then the second signal is if you're poaching or not.
Let's take a look at it now. I think we're a little late getting the Wilkinson signals. We'll try at the next point.
There you go. You hit that one.
Hit an awesome shot in a perfect spot, and Drew Broderick had the answer.
I'm sensing a Marco blitz coming soon.
How soon are you sensing it, Monty?
Very, very soon. Any shot now. Did that count as blitz?
Nope.
I would have counted it, but I don't think Lauren Mandel will. Boy, a lot of missed forehands from Wilkinson.
30-40.
They just can't see where they're getting their points. They can't, so they're...
Okay, so we're going to take a look here, Monty. Why don't you walk us through the signals that Wilkinson's going to give Grangerio?
Okay, so that means serve it to the right side, and then he gave a fist, meaning I'm not moving. So that serve wasn't quite
That wasn't the right place.
where they wanted, but it worked out.
As we've seen with the Grangerio serve, sometimes it has a mind of its own.
It's a good thing as a person at net to just, it makes you a little more comfortable knowing where your partner's serving, if you should expect a return right at you. typically the wider serves, the returner is going to go down the line more. So you want to be ready for that.
A little confusion between Broderick Palmer there. I think they both could have tracked that ball down. And Monty, do you like the person at the net telling the server where to serve? Would you prefer that the server decides where to serve, or the person at the net decides where to serve?
For sure, the server is the one hitting the ball. They should be more comfortable. They should be the one deciding where to serve. But, I mean, all these guys are comfortable serving to either side, so it's good to be on the same page. But, you know, it's just like a catcher and pitcher in baseball. Sometimes the catcher is running the show, sometimes the pitcher is.
Although the pitcher always has final say.
Great angle from Grangerio.
I think Marco's the best at that shot. The backside looks like you're definitely in a lob situation, and he flicks it across court. Of course, he pulled it off perfectly, and we're still in the point.
Right.
It gives you an idea of what you have to do to win a point from Broderick Palmer. Not a game, but a point. A little bit of a blurt from Broderick there.
There we go.
Advantage, Grangerio.
So Monty, before we let you go, we got to talk about your win over Hughes Powers last year.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
One of the only two losses that Hughes Powers had the entire year.
I currently have a win streak against Hughes Powers. It's a pretty rare thing.
Some people say you own them.
I definitely do.
That's who I was referring to, actually.
Okay.
Some people.
See, this shot down the middle, I love it. Keep going. That's not going to work.
Oh,
It worked.
that was
it
a
only worked
brazen move.
because Grangerio has unbelievable hands, but
Spectacular. Well, Monty, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the great work
Thanks
you
so
did in
much
the
for having
APTA.
me.
And really, good luck finding your mom a partner for the 60s.
Thank you.
Okay, that was a huge hold, Lauren.
yes.
Going to stay in the match, assuming 6-1, 2-1 is in the match. but-
Well, it was nice to see them. You know, they're trying everything. They hit those few really hard rollers into the back screen, and they ended up winning both points.
We had a
May have
little
been
bit of-
dangerous, but it was something different.
A little bit of a blurt from Drew Broderick, a couple of weak shots there. There's a big forehand from Wilkinson. They've got to have that shot, Lauren.
Yeah, it's been missing since early in the first set.
Grangerio read that one correctly, and Wilkinson was out of
15
position.
all.
Got to play the line there. Let
He
your
didn't
trailer
see it
partner
until it
help
was
you.
too late.
That's a little bit of a blurt from
30-15.
Wilkinson, way deep in the court to try that shot. Those misses like that just take the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, when you've worked so hard to get on the board and try to make it competitive.
And 3 consecutive misses like
Game,
that. So
Broderick
they
Palmer.
played a 6, 7, 8 minute
Second
game
set,
to
3
hold,
games
and then
to
they
1.
just threw it back.
Yeah, a 30-second game.
Yeah, whatever gains they had are just gone. Grangerio bailing, Wilkinson closing.
Love 15.
Just have to play the game at the highest level to compete. You may still lose. That last ball that Broderick lobbed on the forehand side, I think 95% of the players in the top 20 would have driven that ball.
And Broderick would have too. He changed his grip to drive it, and then when he realized he wasn't exactly in the right place that he wanted to be, he just threw up a lob.
And that's the discipline
Yep.
that's made him such a great player. And there's Grangerio again, the wrong side of that line we talked about earlier.
Love 30.
And you can see Broderick Palmer watching him for the blitz. It wasn't just Michael Montalbano who was expecting the blitz. Maybe that was the blitz Monty was talking about.
Maybe. 2 games too late.
What a lob from Palmer.
Palmer's hit quite a few lobs that have gone over his opponent's heads. He's so accurate with it.
That's a dangerous ball for Wilkinson to drive from that part of the court. That's a great ball. But why hit that shot? So seamless the way Broderick and Palmer fill in for each other, and one's out of position.
There's never any rush or panic.
Every time George Wilkinson hits that backhand overhead, Drew Broderick has gotten what he wanted. You see him lobbing that slot over and over again. Palmer's set up for the lob and the driver identical.
15-30.
Surprising miss there from Broderick.
But they gave him a chance to miss, right? They played a long point. Hit a lot of good shots. You gotta hit a lot of shots to win a point in this match.
And again, all their successes come at the net. And And when I say all, I mean the 2 games that they've won.
But they've won plenty of other points, and they're all at the net, like that one.
Great volley from Grangerio
30
there.
all.
Back to 30 all. Just seems like this constant pressure on you. Every game against Broderick Palmer is so important. Every point.
It's demoralizing.
Switching in the backcourt. I think if Palmer had actually let that hard overhead go, it would have gone over the net for a loss of point, Lauren.
It's hard to say. I don't know. Do you think? I don't know that it was hard enough.
Very close.
30-40.
Now he clearly passed the net when he got it, but by staying in the green, he's legal. If he comes into the blue, then it's loss of point. I think that type of shot that Grangerio hit was just lack of patience.
It's a cop-out.
Yeah. It's like that drop shot you try in tennis after 20
Absolutely.
ground
That's
strokes.
exactly what I was thinking. It's the same thing as that drop shot. And it's unproductive because, as we're saying, they're winning their points at the net, and by hitting that shot, you're automatically giving up the net.
They have to have the net.
Yeah.
We've seen them create so little damage from the backcourt. A couple of Wilkinson forehands, a couple of Grangerio blitzes. So even if he makes that ball, they're just
Game,
so out of
Broderick Palmer.
position.
They lead the second set 4-1. Broderick Palmer won the first set 6-1.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the far court and see what's going on in the McNerney-Kaler match. Here we go. Martin Bostrom serving. Okay, we're going to try and get a score of that match. We're going to come back to the Grangerio-Wilkinson match. We'll keep you updated, and we're going to go over there at the conclusion of this match. Okay, Jared Palmer to serve, 4-1. Lord, I thought Monty had a lot of good points, but 6.5 on the over-under. What was he thinking?
Yeah, he was being
Very optimistic.
optimistic.
Monty is an optimistic guy.
Oh. What do you call that shot, Mark?
A Wilkinson?
30 love.
Wow, they're kind of done.
40 love.
So it's 2-all in the next set, next court. Taylor McNerney, Anderson Bostrom, and we're going to switch to that shortly. Rare bad overhead from Jared Palmer.
40-15.
Okay, that's 5-1. Let's switch courts and take a look at what's going on in the other match.
The second set, 5-1.
That's Graham McNerney hitting the overhead right there, and that's Scott Kaler in the blue hat. Blake Anderson and Martin Bostrom.
That's Martin Bostrom getting the let cord.
30-40.
So it's 30-40, chance to go up a break. This could be called team waterfall overhead, because Kaler and McNerney just love hitting the waterfall overhead.
Yeah, Mark, what do you think? I mean, Graham McNerney has had a tremendous amount of success this year. What do you think is the difference in him between this year and last year?
I think he's playing more like Drew Broderick. I think he's worked really hard at keeping himself out of dangerous positions, not getting in trouble. And he's just been rock solid. His best success has been with Marek Chervinsky, but he's played well with Kaler. He's played well with a lot of guys. He and Martin Bostrom played well together. They took a set up with Broderick and Palmer at the PFP Tour event.
And Kaler recently won the Midwesterns
with Brian Compton. They won Cleveland, and they're playing together at Short Hills. So it's 6-2, 2-3. Blake Anderson serving at 3-2 in the second set.
15 love.
Sharon Paul Marshall Chapin. Hey, Graham's got an interesting game. He doesn't have a lot of weapons. Overhead is obviously very good. But not a big forehand. He does a good job of blitzing with his backhand. Doesn't really like hitting the forehand. Good serve. Don't try that at home, Lord.
I was going to say he's got a good...
These guys won the Patterson Open, first tournament of the year. Beat Ryan Morneau in the finals. And then Kaler won, as you said, won Midwesterns last weekend with Brian Compton. He's playing some great paddle. I'm very impressed with him. Taylor's just rock solid over there.
I think he's driving the ball better this year. I mean, he's always been an unbelievable volleyer.
Okay, Broderick Palmer. 6-1, 6-1 over Grangerio Wilkinson. Well, Bostrom played with McNerney last weekend, so I think he learned something about his game. Whether he's able to use that to his benefit remains to be seen. And there's that backhand blitz we talked about where he catches the ball early and high before it gets to the side wire. Good swing by Kaler, but he misses it.
15. 40-30.
40-30, big point in the match right here. Kaler jumped for that ball 3 times.
Doing a little dance over there. Just caught the line.
There's a great blitz from Anderson.
Game bust from Anderson.
Takes him to 4-2, and they consolidate the break.
4 games to 2.
Yeah, as soon as McNerney went back and Anderson saw that he was going to hit that down up overhead, he moved forward.
So Lauren, you asked me a great question before about what the difference was in Graham McNerney's game. So I decided we should go out and find someone who could give us the answer. And who better than Jeff Morneau, who played with Graham and has seen his improvement firsthand this year, suffered a defeat to him at the finals of Patterson. Welcome to the booth, Jeff.
Thanks, Mark. I'm happy to be here. A great day of paddle here in Boston. And we got the final match of the day out there. What do we got? What's been happening?
The first set went to Kaler McNerney relatively easily, but Anderson Bostrom were up a break here. And we were talking earlier, Jeff, about how much Graham McNerney has improved. What do you see? What's different about his game?
Yeah, I mean, you were right. We played him, Juan and I played him in Patterson, these two. I mean, we played Graham, and really where he's improved is just coming forward. Juan, who's one of the best in the country with those exchange volleys, and Graham really took advantage of Juan on the exchange volley. So Graham has really improved coming forward and his patience in the back from last year. So those two things have turned him from a really good player to a great player.
And tell us a little bit about Blake Anderson's game.
Well, I haven't played Blake, so I'm interested to watch and see how he plays. I was watching a little bit out there. He's good. Seems like he's got a lot of spin on his overheads, and I want to see how he performs in the back and his return to serve. Well, I haven't played Scott Kaler this year. I've also heard that he's really picked up his game, that he's, really making an effort to improve his backhand from the back of the court. And so I'm interested to see that as I watch this match unfold, to see how that develops.
We've seen a lot more aggression from him on the forehand. This is a great point, some terrific action. This we talked about everybody else in the court, Jeff. How about Martin Bostrom? You want to talk about his game a little bit?
Yeah, Martin is just he's very, very solid. He's got a big game from the back, some great spins from the at the net. Occasionally, Martin hits it a little bit too hard, like you just saw right there on his overhead, and really leaves something like that. Leg cord winner.
Fittingly, that point ended with the leg cord.
Bostrom Anderson leads the second set 4-3.
McNerney and Kaler sticking around here in the second set.
You guys still alive in the tournament, Jeff?
No, I played with Carl Levenant this year. We lost to George and Marco. They played a great match. We lost to them, and then we lost in a third set breaker in the back draw. So my tournament is over this year, but looking forward to some other tournaments this year and next year. Watching this quarterfinal and then the semis tomorrow. And
where are we going to see you rest of the season? I understand you're playing with Mick Ordoya.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with Mick. I was hoping to play with him here, but he's hi Mick, if you're watching. He's having a baby. So
Mick's having a baby?
Wow.
Mick is having a baby.
That's really.
He is.
That's.
So he's out for this tournament. We're playing Short Hills, and we're going to play nationals together. I'm really looking forward to that. A big lefty, really athletic. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, Jeff. Really appreciate it. And we hope to see you down the road at Short Hills.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jeff.
And Lauren, you see Kayla and McNerney just really grinding. A lot of patience, a lot of long, slow
15
points.
love. all.
Yeah, good things happen when you're on top of the net.
You can just say it over and over and over again. It's amazing.
So winner of this match plays against Hughes Powers in one semi, and the other semi is Broderick Palmer, Araya Parsons. Really impressed with Martin Bostrom's play. It just seems much sharper, fewer loose errors, just there mentally on a regular basis. You always knew Martin had periods of brilliance with great shots.
Right, he has such good shots.
But he would give you so much.
(30-15).
And again, you're seeing how short in the court McNerney plays, looking to take that ball early, steal time for his opponents, hit it down at their feet. Again, McNerney looking for the blitz.
Up and back, sneaking up and back.
I thought he was doing wind sprints, actually.
Bostrom and Anderson doing an excellent job of ignoring him. It's keeping it away from him.
McNerney's so confident out there.
40-15.
Really like the way he's playing.
Yeah.
A couple of misses from Kaler.
Couple of missed backhands.
Yeah, it's about a month's worth for Scott. Great move from McNerney there.
40-30.
These are important points, Mark. Got him with the roller.
Great overhead for Bostrom, takes them to 5-3.
They lead the second set 5-3.
Miss volley from McNerney.
15.
Great volley from Taylor. He just gets on top of the net. That's clearly the strength of this team, is they're just both exceptionally good volleyers.
See the way McNerney holds his paddle for that overhead. He gets so much work on it.
Great little touchy-feely shot from Bostrom. Little probing shot, then he retreats. A little lack of footwork there from Bostrom. $15-all.
15-30.
2 points from the set. A couple of big balls from Bostrom.
$15-40.
Double set point.
Yeah.
I was surprised Bostrom lobbed that one.
So was Kaler.
Wow. That ball came out high and hot. Great lobbing from Anderson. Set that point up beautifully and just missed the backhand. Some encouraging words from Martin Bostrom. Set point number 2.
Ball
Yes,
is
the ball was
out.
called out. A little bit of a late call. Thought the ball was clearly out.
Advantage, Kaler McNerney.
3 misses in a row from Anderson.
Nice play by
Kaler
Kaler.
McNerney. Bostrom Anderson lead the second
Questionable
set.
overhead
5
from
games
Anderson.
to
We'll see
4.
if they pay for letting that game
Kaler
get
McNerney
away.
won the first
Now they're going to
set,
have to serve
6-3.
for it.
What do you think, Lauren? Would you rather serve for it or receive for it?
Me or
You,
them?
Lauren. You,
Receive.
Lauren.
Receive by a lot.
Does that have something to do with your serve?
Well, I like to return serve much more than I like to serve.
So the answer would be yes. That
No,
big,
I would like to think it has more to do with my return of serve than
your
my
big
serve.
backhand. I've seen that backhand.
But I think all the women would prefer to return.
Yeah, on the guys' side, it's definitely weather related. The colder it is, the more advantage the serve is. So we'll see here. This match has not had a lot of offense from the backcourt.
Love 15.
Bunch of errors for Anderson.
All of a sudden, he didn't make any.
Yeah. This match has changed, hasn't it, Lauren? McNerney's got great hands, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a very interesting player. He just...
A little bit of the same style we saw from Steve DeRose when he played the deuce court. Just playing in tight, hitting half volley, lob.
Hitting half volleys, yeah.
Graham spends virtually all his time with at least 1 foot in the court. Sometimes he's 3 feet inside the baseline.
Just baiting you to hit something hard at him.
Again, that was a vintage DeRose half volley lob. Yeah, just the wrong shot at the wrong time there. Love 40. Amazing, Lauren, how 1 point can change a match. Yeah, that double set point.
It is in paddle. It's so mental.
So mental. Yeah, great awareness from McNerney. Saw them in trouble. Well, he's got a great feel for what's going out there on the court, doesn't he?
He does. He's got a good sense of where to be and when to go and when to stay.
So from 40-15, they lost 8 points in a row. Oh, was an amazing shot from McNerney.
We almost gotten around the. We've had a few close calls with that today. None of them have gone in of the around the poles.
Great swing from Anderson, catches the tape to go wide. Well, you really feel this is a real let up from Anderson Bostrom. They're in trouble right now.
Feels like that 5-3 game they lost really deflated them. Well, they better get it back quick.
Been informed by Jerry Villa that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock our primary men's semi will be Broderick Palmer, Araya Parsons.
What a match.
Popcorn match.
Totally. Djokovic, Nadal, who?
40-15.
You getting up tonight, Lauren, in the middle of the night to watch?
No, but my plan is to watch it on my VCR and to somehow not find out what happens tomorrow.
Game, Taylor
so
McNerney,
when will you watch it on your DVR?
Well, when I get home tomorrow.
6 games to 5.
Good luck with that, Lauren.
I know.
They won the first set 6-3.
My plan is to get up tonight to watch.
Really?
Yeah.
You gonna get up at 3:30? You set your alarm?
3:45. That's when I got up for the Djokovic's semi with Fui.
I didn't spin it well enough.
Okay, so Scott Kaler, Graham McNerney, 1 game away from victory. Martin Bostrom will serve to stay in the match.
The new ball.
Dig
Some
off the net.
nifty digging.
We're in there from McNerney. He's got a really interesting game, doesn't he, Lauren?
Nothing big. Doesn't hit. He hasn't hit one hard ball.
Bostrom was saying after playing with him last weekend, he's just got a very clear idea of what he wants to do and very good at sticking to the game plan.
$15 love.
Get there from Kaler. And that's McNerney's bread and butter.
He wanted that one.
Lured them into it, was in great position and just missed it.
Nice volley.
It's the
From
first
Anderson.
time I've seen him out of position the entire time we've been watching. Great overhead.
40-15.
Probably his best shot. Great cross from
Game
Anderson.
Bostrom
And we'll play a
Anderson.
tiebreak for the second set.
All right,
Second
here we
set
go.
tiebreak.
Who do you like, Lauren?
I'm not picking. Who do you like, Mark?
I like Kaler and McNerney. Do you want to predict we won't be done by 6:40?
You're just saying that because you need to get some sleep before the Nadal match.
Great dig from Kaler.
Darnie likes to hit that sort of like half swing drive. Keeps it low.
McNerney was not happy with that kind of slappy forehand.
Very
love,
casual, like he
Bostrom
kind of
Anderson.
just walked through it.
Shot you might expect to see in a backdraw match. That's a great forehand from Kaler. Oh, it was there. think Anderson
1-0.
just misses it.
Two-one Bostrom Anderson.
Bit of a mental blurt there from Graham McNerney, awfully deep in the court to try that shot. Another really casual shot, Lauren. Not to mention a brutal drop shot.
I don't think you could call that a drop shot.
I agree.
But he looks very casual when he plays. It's his style.
Well, his style right now
3-1
is hemorrhaging
Bostrom
errors.
Anderson.
It's 3 in the breaker. That was a great forehand from Anderson, well struck, but he didn't place it very well. Almost hit McNerney's paddle. Got to get that ball on the right hip, not the left hip.
Bostrom
Nerdy
Anderson.
looks beside himself, Lauren. I think that's
Well,
a volley he makes 99 times out of
Yeah.
100.
He's lost all 4 points for his team this tiebreaker.
It's been a strange tiebreak, hasn't it? You think they heard me pick them and they didn't want to win it?
I doubt it, but it's been a rather lifeless tiebreaker.
Okay, so Bostrom to serve 4-1. Interesting, affording that type of respect to Scott Kaler's return of serve. Bostrom's got one of the best serves in the country. Love how solidly Bostrom's playing,
4-2,
really
Bostrom
playing
Anderson.
within himself. A lot of balls he could drive, but hasn't.
Nice shot.
Catches the nick.
Got it in there.
All of a
4-3
sudden we're
Bostrom
back to
Anderson.
4-3.
Wow, that serve really sat up there in this screen.
Boy, Martin Bostrom will not be happy with
I
that.
thought he was going to crush it.
Kind of an important point, would you say, Lauren?
They're all big now.
Kaler gets so close to the net.
Doesn't he? Gets his backhand volley right in front of him and commits to it.
Almost turns sideways.
Almost turned sideways, yeah. Oh, Nerney with a bad miss on that overhead.
5-4, Bostrom Anderson.
Oh, he's played a strange tiebreak, Lauren. Wow, slappy return from Kaler takes us to 2 more set points.
That was our first win. That's right, exactly. 6-5, Bostrom Anderson.
It's a nail biter.
3 set points gone.
Does Bostrom go for a big return?
He hasn't. And there it is.
Game and second set, Bostrom Anderson.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment with the final set after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine.
I play to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I play to stay healthy.
I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We are about to start the third set of this quarterfinal match between Blake Anderson and Martin Bostrom and Graham McNerney and Scott Kaler. Kaler and McNerney won the first set, and Bostrom and Anderson just won the second set in a tiebreaker. Mark, your prediction for the second set tiebreaker was wrong.
Yes,
what do you think about the third?
I think it's going to be a competitive set of paddle. I like Kaler and McNerney.
All right.
Yeah, they just kind of went away a little bit in the tiebreak, didn't they? Gave away a few points.
More mistakes in the tiebreaker than they made in the whole set, probably.
At least we got 1 3-setter out of the quarters. Everything else was relatively routine. Although the Uriah Parsons match was very good.
They had to save 4 set points in the second set. That's not that routine. But it was straight sets, yes.
So Lauren, Tiernan Cavana just texted me about our conversation about Nadal Djokovic, and she wants to know, you really still have a VCR?
No, not a VCR, a DVR.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Tiernan.
you said VCR, so we're all a little confused.
Yeah.
I just assumed
no.
DVR. Interesting that Bostrom and Anderson are taking a little longer to get on the court here. We're still waiting for Blake Anderson to come back. I know Jerry Viant would be saying, you had the momentum, you won the second set, let's play.
Martin's ready to go.
That's all right. That'll do it.
Not sure what Blake's doing. It seems like he's drinking something on this side of the wires. Here he comes. A little banana, a little hydration. You have any feel for the third set, Lauren? Other than like me to be wrong?
I can't get a feel for this match at all.
It was a strange set that we saw.
Right, I mean, Bostrom and Anderson were ahead the whole set, or from the middle of the set on. They were up 5-3. They had set points, and they lost 7 or 8 points in a row. And then they won the set.
After McNerney just kind of checked out in the tiebreak. Right after I talked about how much I liked this game.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Martin Bostrom to serve.
Love 15.
I always feel like those first couple games of the third set are so important. Wow, that's a little bit of a mental blurt there from Bostrom.
15 all.
15 all.
I think it's love 30.
I thought so too, but the umpire said 15 all. Maybe he was wrong.
I think he had the score wrong. That first volley looked long to me. That overhead was close. And there's McNerney with his patent to play.
15-30.
So he's calling 15-30. Nobody seems to be saying anything.
All.
So perfect position. Court was wide open and just missed it.
Game, Bostrom Anderson, they lead the third.
Yeah, the umpire did have the score wrong.
Nobody corrected him the whole game.
Players weren't even listening to him, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's deuce.
Yep.
A lot of errors from McNerney again.
Thought about coming in.
Bostrom misses the overhead wide.
Advantage, Kaler McNerney.
Do you think he's watching McNerney out of the corner of his eye and seeing him half come in and then try to make it too good?
Maybe. Great reading the nick from Kaler. Bostrom communicating with Anderson there. Wow, it looked like he really didn't want to hit that forehand. He let the ball drop so low.
Well, he's missed a couple, and he's obviously hesitating now.
Just would have thought he would have lobbed that ball.
Advantage, Kaler McNerney.
I was talking to Scott Kaler at Cincinnati. For somebody who punishes the waterfall overhead, he likes hitting it.
He hits a lot of them.
Much. Yeah, he likes hitting it.
Deuce.
But just a plethora of errors from Graham McNerney. Chance to hold here.
Advantage, Bostrom Anderson.
Great hold from Bostrom, and they start the second and third set out with a hold.
1 game to love.
Now McNerney's off getting some food.
It's been a long match.
.28 degrees. Turned into a cold night here in Boston. There's that big Bostrom forehand. And so I noticed we have a bunch of our players from yesterday. Laura Hanisch, Jessica Guillot, and Anna Maria Zabori in the chat room watching. Addicts all, Lauren.
Can't get enough.
Although Flora's got an excuse. This is her husband watching.
No excuses needed to watch paddle.
Great dig from Anderson. He's quick. Seemed like that was a replay of that part of the point.
Again, that is not a drop shot.
Questionable decision by Bostrom, kind of leaning back. His backhand is such a terrific shot. You understand the confidence he's got in it. Taylor with a great volley.
30 love.
A little lucky. You know the great Branch Rickey line, Lauren? Luck is the residue of design. And it's so true, isn't it? You're in the right place.
It's absolutely true.
Good things will happen to you.
It's like, you know, as we keep saying, those volleys when you're so tight in the net that look lucky, they're not lucky because you're in the right place.
Game, Kaler McNerney.
Okay, 1-all.
second set.
I see in the chat room, Lauren, that Jessica Guillot wants to serve for the match.
Yeah.
What do you think? Think that's tongue-in-cheek a little bit, Lauren?
I think there's some sarcasm there.
Just a touch.
Love 15.
Match doesn't have a lot of flow.
Right, like, I don't know how you decided who you were going to pick because it seems very arbitrary who's winning the points. There's no patterns, there's no rhyme or reason here.
Remind our viewers, this is the penultimate stop on the Grand Prix Tour. We'll head to Short Hills in 2 weeks for the final Grand Prix event, which will determine seedings for nationals as well as the winners of the Blanchard and Childress Cups. Oh, great shot from McNerney.
15 all. Sorry,
Up 30, dangerous moment here. Anderson Bostrom. There's McNerney. Love that play.
It's beautiful when he executes it. There's so little rack movement. He's just moving forward and cuts it off.
First good forehand we've seen from him in a while. And there he backs it back up.
Game, Caleb McNerney, they lead the third set 2-1.
So you want to make a pick now, Lauren? You've seen a couple of games?
No, how about you? Oh, you picked.
I already made a pick, Lauren.
You picked Caleb McNerney. You don't get another pick.
Although I have to say, Lauren, I hate when somebody says, well, I picked him in April, so I'm going to stick with him. The opportunity
well, you
arises.
picked him 5 minutes ago.
Right, but if the opportunity arises later in the match, I'll definitely change.
All right. They played a good game there. You think fatigue could be a factor here now? I mean, these guys have played a lot of paddle today.
Yeah, both teams made it through relatively easily. I don't think any of them had any three-setters. All really good, well-conditioned athletes. I think Taylor and McNerney are just a little solider, which clearly was not true in the tiebreak. Now you see them switching to get Bostrom on the ad side. Good look from Bostrom.
30 love.
I watched a little bit of Esty Stulak today play Lauren, and it was just awesome seeing him out there. And here are two former national champions who are no longer competing for titles, but they love the game enough to just come out here and play and grind.
And they're still, you know, they
still
can't.
A real good team.
They can't beat the top players, but they can beat everyone else. And they're competitive with everybody.
Two guys that just speak so highly of our game. Mike's going into the Hall of Fame in Pittsburgh.
I watched Blake Anderson last year play with Mike Stulak, and I think he was fortunate to get to play with him. He learned so much.
Max Lepavere spent a year playing with Mike.
Mark Parsons.
One of my favorite Mike stories was the year they did a survey of the top players, and he won most competitive and best sportsman. I mean, those two things don't go together, right?
That's a really good description of him.
Great dig from Bostrom. And Anderson misses the relatively easy
Game
shot.
Taylor McNerney, they lead the third set 3-1.
This is a really important hold for Martin Bostrom. It seemed like just 20 minutes ago I saw Florhannes leaving the building with a bottle of white wine. That's a little bit redundant because Flor always has a bottle of white wine with her. So I saw Florhannes leaving just an hour ago, it seemed like.
Love.
McNerney's a tough guy to get a feel for his game because he's so casual.
I think that's part of what makes him good. He's hard to get a grip on what he's doing.
15-all.
See, that last backhand miss was just, again, like a backdraw shot. Great move from Kaler.
15-30.
Well,
30-all.
every time it looks like Kaler and McNerney are going to step on them.
They give a little back, but
I see Flor says the bottle's still there, just not as full. That's just dangerous play from Bostrom. Doesn't get away with it.
Such a good volley. Never missed a volley almost.
They lead the third set 4-1.
But if he's going to stay back, taking that ball in the short hop is just so dangerous. So it's 4-1, Kaler McNerney.
The first couple games of this set were long, and then it's gone quickly.
Yeah. So you told me how are you going to watch it tonight? You didn't tell me who you like, though. Will you make a prediction in the tennis or no prediction?
I will make a prediction in the tennis. I think Djokovic is going to win, but I'd like Nadal to win.
It's hard to root against either of those guys. Just great sportsmen. It just seemed like Djokovic's best is better than Nadal's best.
Yes.
That's going to have some action. Oh, I don't think he touched it, and he ran into the
back.
net. Yeah, came back over.
15-love.
Great shot from McNerney.
Can we get a replay of that?
Yeah, we need a replay of that. Did that remind you at all of Matt Caravellia?
Yes.
Oh, boy. That is not where you want to put your overhead if you're Scott Kaler. There's a little bit of a mental error from Anderson. He had to be looking for a nick there.
All.
Saw him coming. He challenged him. Great return.
Great rip for Bostrom.
30-40.
Boy, from 30-15, they were right there, and all of a sudden it threatened to be broken. They're switching in the backcourt again. the switch at the net from McNerney, just standing right on it. The ball actually passed through space he occupied about 2 seconds earlier.
Ooh, another tremendous drive from
What a
Boston.
pickup from Taylor.
McNerney's perfected that, letting the ball go through his legs move. Jeez.
Another great dig from Taylor. After Anderson and Bostrom, you feel like you've won this point twice already. Still playing. McNerney misses the backhand, and they get one of the two breaks back. Now can they get one of the holds back?
Lead the third set 4-2.
Taylor's forehand return reminds me a little bit of Mike Stulek's. He kind of catches it early and slaps it.
But he doesn't drive the ball like that. He has a more traditional forehand drive. I don't know why he returns differently.
Well, it's effective. Who do you like, Lauren? That ball was close. Great volley from Anderson. Bailed himself out after a very questionable slash.
It was a slash that didn't really slash.
Late blitz from Taylor there.
30 love.
Think we're headed for a third set tiebreak, Lauren?
I would be not at all surprised.
We need to hear from Patty Hogan to know what she thinks.
Yeah, I'm not making any predictions based on her. She had a very poor track record in the Midwesterns. What was she, 0 for 8?
She did predict the tiebreak at 6-0 in the third, though. Wow, just so fast. All of a sudden, there's another spate of errors. It's like each team makes a bunch of errors and the other one takes over.
That's what this match feels like. It feels like nobody's really got a handle on it.
Taylor McNerney at 4-3. Here's that shot again, Lauren. Martin Bostrom actually lost this point twice. Here it is right here at the backhand. Look at that ball spinning. Bostrom closes. Paddle never touches it, but he hits the net.
That's a great shot.
Very elegant. No question that Flor Hanisch would have done much better with that. Although honestly, I don't know how you could have done worse with it.
Well, no, but what are you going to do? The ball spun right back over the net.
Maybe not hit the net?
Well.
Okay, Graham McNerney to serve. 4-3 final set. See who's going to make the errors this game. Swing and a miss from Anderson.
15 love.
I love how McNerney just kind of floats along at the net. There's Bostrom into the backhand side again. Great Forehand there from Anderson takes us to 15 all. That's a great backhand from Bostrom, 30-15.
15-30.
It's always interesting to see who's going to step up and make a play in the big moments. Who wants to lob? Who's going to take some chances? The old phrase, fortune favors the bold, is so true in platform tennis. That's a great get from Anderson, but McNerney's got the answer.
All.
Little look away forehand volley winner.
He likes that look away forehand volley.
Goes with the rest of the casual attitude. This is the volley,
30-40.
chance for 4 all. What do you think the score in the tiebreak will be, Lauren? A great volley by Taylor. Third panel slam from McNerney. Anderson's been looking for that waterfall overhead on his side wire. Just hasn't quite caught up to it yet. What do you think, Lauren? How's this point going to end? Nick a seam, a missed drive, missed volley, missed lob. We can wait until it ends and then predict it if you want.
No, I think the net team's going to win it.
The what?
The net team's going to win it.
The net team's going to win it. And how are they going to win it? Missed drive?
No. They're going to win it with a...
Well, you were right, Lauren. They won it with a missed drive. I'm giving you full credit there.
Thank you.
Back to deuce.
Martin Bostrom's hit a lot of excellent returns this game.
Love to see Blake Anderson blitz one of those soft overheads.
Thought he was going to hit that one.
I just feel like it's incumbent upon the team in the backcourt to make a play, because otherwise you're going to get a nick or a seam or something's going to happen to the net team.
The length of the point doesn't favor you.
There it is. Ooh, Blake comes up lame there. Doesn't stop him from ripping the next forehand, though. Playing against Kaler's got to feel like you're playing against a wall.
You are. He gets up there and volleys just like a wall.
Bostrom hits it through the wall.
Advantage Boston
Wow.
Anderson.
I can't believe that ball cleared the net. What a shot.
Another point for 4-all. Great get from McNerney. Well, he moves really well for a big guy. Great
Not that well.
from
Game
Bostrom.
Bostrom Anderson.
We're back to 4-all. It's all even, Lauren.
Third set.
You predicted this.
I predicted it. I was forced into predicting a third set tiebreaker.
Who do you like, Lauren?
I like a third set tiebreaker. It seems like
Okay.
a good bet. I mean, you can't really tell me you can get a good sense of who's going to win this match.
No idea at all. Oh, what a pickup from
But
Bostrom.
Bostrom's really stepped it up. Well,
Love 15.
That was a spectacular backhand. He's going to stay back. I like that decision much better than trying to pick the ball off of the deck. So as soon as you said that Bostrom had really
I
picked
know.
it up, 2 consecutive errors. Are you familiar with the term Black Widow?
I hesitate to ever say someone's serving well for that reason.
Okay, we have another special guest joining us in the booth. And he's scouting this match because he's playing the winner of it tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Defending national champion Mark Powers. Mark, welcome to the booth.
Hi, Mark.
Welcome again, Mark.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What are you seeing out here, Mark?
I'm seeing a lot of great play. Quite impressive for Martin and Blake to come back after being down so much in the third.
15-30.
Seems like they're both having a bouts of momentum, but overall, I mean, some great gets out there, some great offense. It's fun paddle to watch.
Now, you played against Scott Kaler last 2 weeks in Cincinnati. Tell us a little bit about his game and the difficulties he presents.
You know, he doesn't give you much. Very solid, lobs well, hits the right overheads for the most part. Good serve. You know, he has the whole package. You got to try to keep it away from that forehand, which can be pretty deadly. But great player. I mean, all 4 of these guys playing really good paddle.
And how was your day today?
We had a good day. We had a good day. Played solid early on. Kind of really like we had a good first match. Played a tough team out there, and I actually kind of prefer playing good matches early on to kind of get into the right mental state. But we kept it going. We kept it going through the day and had a good match against Sven and Roman. And yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
You guys look sharp against Burish and Stoyasavljevic.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep that going.
It really looks like Blake Anderson is injured. He's not moving well at all.
You know, it happened on the other side a few games ago. It looked like he pulled up.
We have the replay of it. Oh, brave shot from Bostrom, and he just misses it.
And I think he re-aggravated it in the corner over here.
So, Mark, your coach, Jim Kaufman, isn't here, but how would he have evaluated your play today?
I think he would have been quite happy with it. Yeah, I think we executed our game plan kind of the way we wanted to. So I think we leave today quite pleased with the brand of paddle we're playing. So.
Well, that's good to hear, because the last time I saw you guys in the court, you weren't quite as pleased.
No, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Blake hurt? Is he?
We think so.
Yeah, we're going to show a replay after this game of where he slammed into the side wire. He just doesn't look like he's moving well.
Yep.
But I think he heard it earlier.
They seem to be looking to drop shot him a bit. Oh.
Oh, what a get
my
off the
goodness.
snowboard.
Oh.
Such a spectacular get, and then the next shot he tried. Kaler being positive. Another point for 5-4.
It's a great cutoff volley.
Really see Blake laboring there to change direction. Surprising miss from Kaler. Okay, we're going to take a look at that point. Here it is on the replay.
5-4.
I think it's when I was talking about he was going to blitz the side wire, Lauren. Right here. McNerney hits the soft overhead wide, and there goes Anderson. And you can see his pain in his face. Comes up a little lame. Okay, back to live action. So is that better or worse than the Roxy and Ika injury today?
It depends if they win. How is Roxy? Have you spoken to her since this morning? Is her shoulder okay?
Yes, she seems to be okay. A little bummed out, obviously, but I think physically pretty good.
Love 15.
Okay, we missed the first point. Love 15. Mark, any predictions for us? Lauren Mandel loves to make predictions. How about you?
You know, holding down 4-5 after, a few games in a row. I think, what were they, down 4-1? I think the odds would say that the receiving team would win this game.
Reversion to the mean, huh? There's been a lot of streaks in this match. Expect Kaler to serve a pretty good game. He's got one of the best serves on tour.
That he does.
It's interesting. Graham McNerney has had periods of brilliance with periods of less than brilliance, insanity. A couple of really strange misses. Played a terrible tiebreak.
15 all.
And as Jerry Vian likes to say, Kaler's been north on the compass.
Yep.
30-15.
Martin Bostrom wants that one back.
Yeah, he's been returning fantastically.
And you see Blake limping over for that ball.
40-15.
It's looking more and more like Lauren Mandel's prediction of a third set tiebreak is going to come true.
You didn't have to be a genius to call that one.
In this case, you are a genius, and you called it.
Nobody can get their teeth into this match. It's just so close.
What a bizarre miss
40-30.
there. 40-30.
It's not always easy to play someone who's hobbling out there. It actually can be, it can certainly mess with your head a bit. You feel like you should be able to move them, but if they're efficient enough covering the court, they really don't need to be sprinting around out there. So
Blake is doing an excellent job. Great read in the nick, and he hobbles over the deuce court.
he holds that forehand lob so well. Wow.
Back to deuce, and they're 2 points from the match.
Slippery backhand.
Advantage, Kaler McNerney.
So that forehand was just not well spotted, was it? Right in the left hip. Missed it anyway.
That was an uncharacteristic volley error.
Good job creating movement, though, from Anderson Bostrom.
Another great return.
And that takes us to match point.
Advantage Bostrom Anderson.
What do you think here? Does he go? Does he try to pull the trigger off the deck?
I would like to think so. Taylor's got a real good serve to the ad court, though.
Oh, yeah.
Anderson limped to the net. What do you think, Lauren? We're about to see a long grinding point.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Wow.
Game, set, match. Anderson Bostrom. 3-6, 7-6, 6-4. Mark, thanks for joining us. We're looking
thanks
forward
for
to
having me.
seeing you tomorrow against these guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Lauren, fun night.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the semis tomorrow. Any thoughts?
Well, I hope Blake Anderson is okay. I hope he can move tomorrow.
It's a strange match. They're down 4-1 in the third. Looked like they were dead in the water, and they won the last 5 games.
They hit a lot of good shots in the last bunch of games. They really took it to their opponents.
Okay, that's a wrap. Delivered by Uline. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.